in today's world, what does ghafla, heedlessness, look like? It looks like people who are overstimulated but feel empty inside. The moment they wake up, they check their smartphone. And before they sleep, they're doom scrolling. But despite all that information and all those videos and all those maybe even reminders that they're watching and Quran they're listening to, they feel empty inside. It's people who use distraction as a coping tool. Whenever they feel something, anything, fear, sad, love, loneliness, whatever they feel, they use distraction of some kind. They check WhatsApp, they go to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube suggested videos, one video, the next video, the next video. They find themselves constantly distracting themselves because this is their only coping mechanism. Loss of purpose. People who are just, as we say, they go with the flow. They're just on the conveyor belt of life. You ask them, what is it that you really want? What is it that's your main purpose? What are you hustling for? They'll repeat to you what was said by the three people who were surrounding them. Many of us can relate to some of these feelings. Some of us realize that we are one of those dead people inside. We are spiritually dead. And now the question is, how do you wake up if you are spiritually asleep? And many people, they have this question when my iman is low, I feel like my iman is lacking. Something is off. How do I refresh my iman? You can answer both questions by understanding this point. How do you, somebody who is heedless of Allah, distant from Allah, constantly distracted, overstimulated, empty inside, the salah has nothing, how do you awaken this person? You are a spiritual doctor, yallah, tell me. What's the solution? Equivalent of CPR. Go on. Reflecting on the Quran. Yes. And dua, asking Allah to help you and heal you. Yes. Istighfar, asking Allah's forgiveness. Remembering death. Anybody else? Yes. Removing these distractions so you can think. Very good. What else? Visiting the Haramain. Anything else? Finding your purpose. There are two ways in which people wake up from their sleep. Either they wake up by force or they wake up voluntarily. How do they wake up by force? Hardship and calamity. Some people are sleeping, they're sleepwalking through life. The day they wake up is when they have a car accident. Somebody dies in the family. And many people have realized and asked questions about life because of this. I had a teacher in high school. He's a very well-known da'i, but I won't say his name. I have enough refutations coming, alhamdulillah. We don't need more refutations. You need to cut all associations, except with Mashar al-Furqan, alhamdulillah. He was an American gangster from the hood of America. An Irish-American, white, non-Muslim guy. And one day he has a car accident. And in this car accident, a lorry smashes into the front of the car and he escapes death by a hair. That is the day he starts thinking, what if I actually left this earth? Where would I be today? Somebody later gives him a book about the purpose of life from an Islamic perspective, and he begins to read, and eventually he converts to Islam and becomes a scholar, and his life changes. But he had to be physically shook in order to wake up. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does for some people. And this is a form of mercy. Because imagine if you had continued to sleep and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hadn't slapped you awake, metaphorically of course. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, slapping is not one of his attributes. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had not jolted you awake, what would have been the end of you and me? So this is one way to wake up. But the other way to wake up, the second way, is to voluntarily wake up. Without needing CPR, without needing someone to jolt your heart back to life, to voluntarily wake up. Yes, it is Isha time, but we're going to, inshallah, prolong a little bit. Inshallah ta'ala. I'm not making any promises of when we're going to finish. I'll keep you guys in suspense. How do you voluntarily wake up? Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah says, to wake up the heart of a human being you have to have two things. You have to have two realizations. If you don't have these two realizations, you will forever remain in the darkness of distraction and emptiness and sadness, melancholy, and you will be on drugs and you will be in prison and you will be tortured in this life until two things make you realize you have to wake up. The first is realizing the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Which is why Surah Al-Fatiha, what's the first word? Clearly you're not all Shafi'is. The first word is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inshallah, for you guys who don't believe Bismillah al-Fatiha, Alhamdu. Okay. It's realizing that Allah deserves my praise. He deserves my attention. He deserves my worship. What He has given me, I can never count. I put my hand on my chest and I feel my heart beating and the blood pumping through my veins. I could not count the number of blood cells He created in me. How can I ignore Him? كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا فأحياكم. How could you turn away from Allah and you are dead and He raised you to life? قل أفي الله شك فاطر السماوات والأرض فالق الحب والنوى. Allah, how He describes Himself, His blessings, His in'am, His beauty, the beauty of what He gave us. If we don't realize how indebted we are to Allah, you will forever remain sleeping in the depths of distraction and emptiness. That's why Al-Fatiha begins with Alhamd. If you cannot realize how indebted you are to Allah, you will forever continue sinning, continue turning away from Him, and continue living the life of animals. وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. If you were to count the blessings of Allah, never would you be able to count. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. How many of Allah's blessings are you going to reject? Surah Al-Rahman is enough. If you want to have this first realization of how many blessings Allah has on me, read and reflect on Surah Al-Rahman. You will never sleep the same way again. Because every ayah, every second ayah, He's asking you, are you going to deny how much I have done for you? Are you going to reject my blessings on you? Now, if you have realized the blessings of Allah, that's just the first step. There's a second step. Is you have to realize how many shortcomings you have and how far you are from fulfilling and being thankful and being grateful to Allah. If you just counted one thing, this fingerprint that's on your fingers, if you just counted the number of cells in the fingerprint and you just said Alhamdulillah that many times, you'd be saying Alhamdulillah today till the day you die. Just the cells in your fingerprint. And so the second part of waking up, once you have realized how much Allah has done for us, is feeling al-haya'u min Allah, feeling ashamed, feeling the shortcoming, feeling the lack of gratitude that I have given to Allah. And if you want to understand what does it mean to feel ashamed in front of Allah, you have to see and reflect on this moment. One day the Prophet ﷺ is standing and praying. And he's crying in his salah. And the water is dripping from his beard like someone poured a bucket over his head. And after he finishes his salah, he's asked by his wife Aisha radiallahu anha, why is it that you are praying till your feet swell and till your beard is dripping? وَقَدْ غُفِرَ لَكَ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِكَ وَمَا تَأَخَّرَ. And Allah has forgiven your past and your future sins. And he says, أَفَلَا أَكُونَ عَبْدًا شَكُورًا. How can I not be a grateful slave? That much to pray till my feet are swollen and to pray till my tears have wet my beard is because I just want to say thank you to Allah. And I know even after I say thank you, I have still fallen short in front of Him. To feel shame from Allah is the same feeling that Nuh alayhi salam felt when his son drowned and he stood there asking Allah, قال رب إن بني من أهلي وإن وعدك الحق. Oh Allah, my son is from my family and your promise is true. He was so shy, he couldn't even ask Allah to save his son or to forgive him. He was shy in front of Allah. To feel shy in front of Allah is what Allah describes in the Quran when He says, وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْتُونَ مَا آتَوا وَقُلُوبُهُمْ وَجِلَةٌ أَنَّهُمْ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ رَاجِعُونَ. People who worship Allah, but when they put forward their worship to Allah, they are trembling. We don't know, will Allah accept it from me? To feel ashamed in front of Allah is to stand like Ibrahim alayhi salam, building the house of Allah, but to stand there and say, رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. Oh Allah, please accept the deed. I don't know if you will accept it from me.